Now, do you think Porcini should have died in the miniseries High Risk? A reason why I question this is that Porcini was actually a really interesting villain. In fact, not that just interesting, the guy know how to play the game of the strategy, that he's not a one-on-one hand combat, even he knows how to fight, that he knows how to ally and manipulate and set every single chess piece where it needs to be. Basically, he was sort of the Lex Luthor of this universe of villainous in a way. But instead, Alan and his team decided to actually eliminate Porcini just to tell more grander story and more like a lore. What if you betray Black Cat? And this is sort of the result of Porcini. But yet, Porcini just was sort of interesting, that wondering maybe that was a bad idea because he was a very fascinating villain. Because you don't know, in the main series, he portrayed all the other villains just become a hero, not because he want to be righteous and sort of uh, redeem himself to become a good person. Is that he saw it as a business opportunity to change the other side because all villainy had probably been sort of falling down. Like, it's not as prevalent right now. At least that's how he views it. And that is just sort of interesting. What was the thing he saw around him to actually do that decision, especially to portray Black Cat? That is just so fascinating. And this is the reason why I think he was sort of killed off too soon. I wish they bring him back to see how we do with Mystique. That one-on-one is still portrayed as a villain, playing off Peace. He also played around with Blackhead organization. How he sort of moved the chesses to his own benefactor now, his own benefit. And that is just interesting because that he could do so much more in the series. In fact, you think that was a good idea to eliminate Porcini in the series or not? Tell me down below. Now, this is the first time on my channel. My name is Retro. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, do reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. And if you like how he's going, if you like to support my channel, just put a like, comment, and subscribe. One of those things really does help my channel because it's obvious I am small. I'm around close to 900 subscribers. End of the year, I hope past the 1,000 subscribers. And yes, I am getting close. Thanks to all the people who comment, subscribe, and put a like. And all those things really help. Yeah, I am truly grateful if you do. If you don't, that's fine. Let's talk about the theory of Porcini, the reason why it was a bad idea to eliminate him. One of the best ways to use Porcini is sort of go against Mystique, that sort of kind of uncontrolled the media sort of tactical way, that she does something to explain this one's her fault, it was the villainy or Black Hat organization or peace, and Porcini comes out of nowhere, give it sort of real proof that it was all competent of Mystique because he knows how to use the media too, even better than Mystique, to proving himself to be very dangerous. Even that he used the media could actually take charge of peace. He can prove peace is sort of incompetent or loses their goals where they supposed to get rid of the villain organization. That he can be the leader of peace, just give me a chance. That itself gave him a lot of people to believe in him. Even that he was a criminal, he now trying to prove himself becoming a good person. Once again, that could be a possibility how you use Porcini, how easily he can manipulate people and move the right chess pieces with his own benefit. Now, I thought of a different way how to use Porcini. Why not make him sort of a politician, someone who controls a small town or a small state, but his sort of pitch is creating his own organization using heroes and villains to kind of change the villains becoming heroes, for the example around becoming sort of sidekicks with the heroes. Once more, sort of giving a way out to see them becoming better by using as a sort of kind of politician move. But yet, he's still playing both sides, heroes and villains, because he can usually use all the villains to do criminal things behind everybody's back, but at the same time using all the heroes, saving them and stopping other villains becoming more evil. Once again, playing both sides, because that's sort of the theme of Puccini. Always strategize, always playing both sides to be the better man or the better pig. That's sort of delusional. He is the best. He is the smartest in the whole room. Once again, that could be very interesting. You could actually play more about the sort of ego he has and the reason why he thinks he's everything you should become, and yet he is the most corrupted person in all villains. That's a fun way to do Porcini, but of course that could be a very, maybe a long way to do it. But once more, you can have fun with that. You can see him sort of messing up every time he tries to do something different with this organization as a comedic sort of point of view, and also take it serious when you think you need to do it. Once more, it's sort of a fun idea to use Porcini. Now, more I keep thinking how to bring back Puccini. I think the best way to make a prequel, sort of the scenarios that what he saw convince him to portray the villain organization, Black Hat. Now, I think it's because it peace, because it did leave some hints that maybe he saw something very interesting. Because in the beginning of the miniseries of High Risk, there will be a lot of people tempted to be villainy. Like, this is the reason why the main two lead characters of Milanato, who attempted to actually rob something and completely failed because there was too much competition. And yet, Porcini saw that is, no, everybody's dying, everybody's losing their minds. It makes sense to become a hero. And that's the thing. What we didn't see, what he saw, make this character more interesting. Or you could go a different direction that Puccini saw what Goldheart was actually doing, what he's capable of, and this is the reason why he portrayed the whole villain organization. He saw the extinction of villain at all, so he decided to jump off in the right time, in the right moment, to place him as a hero. That could be a very interesting thing, because he had to be super afraid of Goldheart or whatever piece is doing to portray Black Hat that easily. Or in fact, maybe he got more crazy because with his rival, King Casino, he never beat him, and maybe he got more mad over the years, or even maybe the ranking of the hat he has. If you don't know, depending on what kind of hat you have, there's small chance you will go a little crazy. There have been a lot of kind of lore that you wear the wrong hat or the right hat, you'll go slightly crazy. It's sort of how you can deal with that. And maybe that's sort of the effects of Puccini, that sort of madness, or maybe the gangster life he completely went mad. I really like to see Alan do maybe a prequel with Puccini just to see what's the events to sort of convince him to do certain things what he does, like how he met Miss Seed, how he met the father of Miss Seed, who has so much power to manipulate peace itself to convince him to help them. And that is just fascinating, because you just want to see all the steps he did, especially his sort of fake lore. If he's not really the original, possibly his fake lore, he was sort of created with the last Don, who was charged of his sector. But that was sort of a lie, because he made a deal with Black Cat, and he kind of made that Pacific lore just to make him more threatened, more gangster. And that's just sort of interesting why he did that. Once again, the guy knows you have to build yourself this sort of lore, this sort of myth. Who is Puccini? Why he's that dangerous? Or if you can't bring him back, or if you don't want to bring him back, you also can do with Puccini's John Jr. That Jr. could be a very interesting character, complementing Puccini as sort of his legacy. One of the big examples is basically what if Junior run the basically mob, but the only problem is he became sort of kind of like the Green Goblin Junior. That the more he's trying to run it, the more he sees his own father, till the certain point he becomes Porcini. And that could be a possibility is how the world is sort of created in Villainous. That sort of almost supernatural sort of take. That could be a very interesting kind of point of Porcini that he never leaves because he's sort of stuck to his son. Sort of kind of idea his career, his charisma stuck to Junior downwards. Once more, it's sort of a way to do it. Or a different way is the fact make Porcini prequel, but sort of like Scarface. That's sort of how he become the Don, the steps he must do to become the most ruthless Don and the most respected Don in this world, to see how he made the deal with Black Cat. And that is just could be interesting. Maybe I don't know you how you felt this sort of maybe take. Or there's a different way to bring back Puccini instead of putting it in the hotel, or specifically the reserve of Black Cat. If you don't know, it's sort of a island to sort of force to become more evil if your henchman or you completely fail. It's a part of the lore in Black Cat if you're kind of fail Black Cat himself. And that could be interesting because Puccini could be sent there, say all the things that be done to him to make it more evil. Even that becoming a hackbot. If you don't know, if you fail the course of the Blackhead Island, you become his sort of henchman robot. And that would be an interesting sort of point of view, how a henchman receive things, see all his past memories as Porcini, little by little realizing he's a robot, it's time to escape and reclaim his power in his own body, but also challenging Black Hat and Peace, not becoming this sort of half alive, half robot cyborg pig. Sounds weird, but yet that also sounds very interesting because it sort of see him a very well positioned to see all different directions, to see him do his first move of the chessboard of the gangster world. Once more, it's an interesting sort of idea, but I don't know if he actually pulled it off. But yet, be fair, the world of villainy is a very strange out there show because it's sort of still very cartoony. Things you can do, you could do, but at the same time, shoot you because once again, if you do focus on Puccini, you also kind of want to make Puccini so special. I think one of the big examples is maybe you don't need him all the time if you decide to bring him back, or it'll be too much hype. It sort of doesn't really satisfy what the hype was actually given to. And so that's sort of the reasons why maybe it's not a good idea to bring him back because you easily ruin what was so much potential of a character, or use him too much, or either or. That's the main problem, is trying to figure out what to do with a character. Specifically, a character did a lot of impact of the miniseries. Of course, that's sort of my opinion. I don't know you. Do you care about Porcini? Do you want him back or not really? You think he was good enough where it was in the miniseries and should stay in the miniseries? Tell me down below. Let me know how you feel about this. Now, of course, I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.